I got to temporarily pull the Geo out of the garage. I got a buddy of mine bringing his trailer by. We're going to go ahead and wire it up. In the meantime, my father-in-law had this old Stihl 038 and it blew the spark plug out. This happened a few years ago, so I decided to dig this saw out, and I'm going to have a buddy helicoil the spark plug back in. This is actually the Magnum. He has two identical saws, one's a Super, one's a Magnum. He took the parts off the Magnum whenever it blew the spark plug out and put them on the Super. This saw had a hole in the exhaust on the Super, so he switched the exhaust and the cover out. Anyhow, I decided I was too cheap to buy a new one, so I went ahead and just welded this up. And we're going to get this saw put back together as well. He showed up with his trailer. We're going to go ahead and we got to wire up his trailer brakes and get some new lights on this thing. This trailer, we had to go ahead and pull 2 more new wires because the old ones on the inside were pretty good shape. Somebody just cut the pigtail off. So we had to pull 1 for the brakes and 1 for the reverse lights because the old axles didn't have brakes on them. I'm back onto the chainsaw here. I went and had my buddy helicoil the spark plug back in it. This thing is loaded with compression. I'm going to throw the exhaust on it and dump some gas in it and make sure she fires. I went ahead and ordered a new air filter through Stihl. So we'll find out. So there's a Stihl for you. It runs, it needs a little tuning, but I'm going to tear it back apart and clean everything up and go from there. The wiring of the trailer, I had to cut the old light brackets off and went ahead and I welded a couple new ones on there. They don't look the greatest, but they ought to do the job. So on my buddy's trailer, we put the 7 blade pigtail on it, the junction box. Got everything all ran and wired up. Everything works like it should. These are reverse lights. It ought to work for him. I went ahead and got the saw tore on down so I can go ahead and get ready to clean it up. It's been a little neglected over the years. So the amount of stink bugs that flew out of this thing that were built a nest in it or whatever was amazing. The guy, whenever I took and had him tap helicoil the spark plug, he said there were stink bugs down in the cylinder even. Hosing the saw and stuff down with some parts cleaner, and I got the rest of it soaking over in the parts washer, and then I'll clean it all off with brake clean to finish it. I've done one other one like this and it turned out pretty good. Here's the saw. I took the oil pump cover off. That was pretty dirty down in there too. But it, I mean, it's not 100% perfect, but it's way, way better than what it was. It is all put back together and cleaned up. It looks way better than what it did before. Because 20-inch bar on it. So after digging around online, I found a super cover on eBay, so I can take the Magnum cover back off the super and put it on the Magnum and get rid of this melted one. And whenever I was doing a little bit of research, it said that the Magnum should have a dual port exhaust, so I went ahead and broke down and bought one, because that's only a single port. So I'm going to get these switched around. There they are, the 038 Super and the 038 Mag, all cleaned up. So I had some leftover plywood laying around, and I decided to build me a little 6.5-inch subwoofer box to put in the Geo. Get my wires from the back of the radio to back to where I'm putting the sub. I just took one of these big long zip ties, and I'm going to run it up through, pull the wires back, and fish them on back through to the back. So to turn my amp on and off, I had a old switch out of one of my razors to power it, and I kind of cheated on the wiring because I had the rear defog switch here that clearly was no longer being used. So I just grabbed the wires and found the positive and negative, and I'm going to tap into those because they're key switch positive. And that's what my switch turns out to look like. You turn the key on, it lights up, and turn the switch on, and the whole thing lights up. Alright, and this here is what it turned out like. It's mounted into place. It's clean and out of the way. So, if you guys like videos that I'm doing, like the Geo, or working on the Stihl chainsaws, or anything else in general, I'm going to be trying to do weekly video drops, and coming up here pretty soon we'll probably be working on the dozer and a few other things. So if you guys like this kind of content, you know what to do. So thanks for watching.